We're gonna go on a DIY Game of Thrones tour and explore all the film locations for Game of Thrones in Dubrovnik in Croatia. A lot of the Game of Thrones scenes were actually filmed in here in the beautiful city of Dubrovnik, and so we're gonna go find them and go lick. So for a Game of Thrones fan, this place is actually super iconic and crazy. So behind us, what we see are these two small little houses. It's actually what King Robert Baratheon in the first few seasons, actually no, it's King Joffrey in the first few seasons, orders to kill all the Baratheon bastards. That way no one sort of threatens the throne. And you see that the gold cloaks actually go here to take those children and to essentially get rid of them. That way, you can see a pebble shoreline. That's essentially where Cersei Lannister sends Myrcella off to Dorne, and where Myrcella dies.
Her journey. Mother give her health. May the crown give her wisdom. Grant her strength.
One day I pray you love someone.
And finally, of course, the iconic pier, which is where Sansa and Shae talk, and also Littlefinger tried to get Sansa out of King's Landing.
And ladies can get drunk on better wine than they deserve.
Why should I make up a story when I know the truth?
Because the truth is always either terrible or boring.
Lovely day for it. Watching the ships.
Lord Baelish.
Might I speak with Lady Sansa alone for a moment?
That castle, which is Fort Loverinich, I totally mastered the name. But anyways, the point is, that is the Red Keep from King's Landing. Currently in the Red Keep, which is known in Croatian as Fort Lovrijenac. And you might remember this part of the corridor where in season 2, Littlefinger and Cersei have a deep encounter where Littlefinger says knowledge is power, but then Cersei's like, power is power.
Of course, Your Grace.
Ned Stark's youngest daughter, Arya. We can't seem to locate her.
Prominent families often forget a simple truth. I've found.
And which truth is that?
Knowledge is power.
Seize him. Cut his throat. Stop. Wait. I've changed my mind. Let him go. Step back 3 paces. Power is power.
All right, so if you take a look up there, you'll notice that's the scene where King Joffrey stood for his name day tournament.
Well struck.
Well struck, dog.
So now we're standing inside of Pile Gate, and you might recognize this spot as where King Joffrey was actually walking up the steps, and a riot ensued after someone threw fruit at his face, and then essentially, you know, shit went down.
7 blessings on you, Your Grace.
King, all hail the king!
Please, Your Grace, we're hungry!
Who threw that?
I want the man who threw that. Find who did that and bring him to me!
And then if we come over here, you'll notice there's this little hole inside the wall. This is where actually Sansa ran through, trying to run away and escape from men who were chasing after her. And take a look. Alright, so here, through this tunnel, is where we actually have exterior shots of Littlefinger's brothel, but it's also where Tyrion Oberyn Martell starts to talk and exchange secret conversations. And it's also where they filmed the High Septon walking naked.
I visited the Lannister brothel by mistake.
Oh, they take all kinds.
Even Dornishmen.
The king is very grateful that you traveled all this way for his wedding.
Now let us speak truth here. Joffrey is insulted. I am only the second son, after all.
Well, speaking as a fellow second son, I've grown rather used to being the family insult.
Alright, and of course we have to make it to the infamous Staircase of Shame. This is where Cersei obviously had her Walk of Atonement. Also, when Tommen was walking up and High Septon blocked him, and a lot of scenes were filmed at these staircases.
A sinner comes before you. Cersei of House Lannister, mother to His Grace King Tommen, widow of His Grace King Robert. She has committed the acts of falsehood and fornication.
So behind us is the staircase that was filmed in season 2 for the episode of Karth, where Daenerys is talking to the Spice King about getting ships.
The mother of dragons.
Here he comes.
So, my little princess, what is it you want?
My birthright, the 7 kingdoms of Westeros.
I fear I'm no better than a servant in this regard. I cannot give you what I do not have.
I'm not asking you for the kingdoms. I'm asking you for ships. I need to cross the Narrow Sea.
I need my ships as well. I use them, you see, to bring spices from one port to another.
Whatever you...
So during season 2, this is where Tyrion and Bronn were walking down the streets and witnessed a protest and a preacher who was advocating against King Joffrey right on top of those stairs.
Yes, we are swollen, bloated, foul. Brother fornicates with sister in the bed of kings. Are we surprised when the fruit of the incest is rotten?
Alright, so right now we're standing at one of the entrances to the Red Keep. This was in season 5, so at the end of Cersei's Walk of Shame, this is where she actually entered the Red Keep. While the Red Keep itself is not actually here, this place is used and filmed as one of the entrances to the Red Keep. Okay, so on top of the city walls is where you can have the view of King's Landing. So this is the old town of Dubrovnik, and this is where King's Landing is. Alright, so this is the Minseta Tower. It's shot as the House of the Undying. So this tower is for the House of the Undying. In season 2, Daenerys comes here when her dragons are stolen by this creepy death guy. And this is the tower that she actually gets trapped in.
Is this a riddle?
So once we take a look down here, we'll see that those practice fields, essentially the green terrains there, is where Cersei first saw the mountain and chose her as a champion. It's also where Loras was arrested when he was practicing. So that's where all the knights practice.
Get your hands off me! Sir Loras of House Tyrell, you have broken the laws of gods and men. Who do you think you are? Justice.
So the top of that outpost is where Cersei in season 7 watches the Iron Fleet arrive, but it's also where in I think season 2 where Tyrion and Varys discuss war strategy. So they just lean over that sort of ramp on that outpost right there.
A most high-born plumber. The water never flowed better. And all the shit found its way to the sea. Never expected to have any real power. So when my father named me acting hand...
You're quite good at being hand, you know. Jon Arryn and Ned Stark were good men.
And that is the end of all the locations for Game of Thrones in Dubrovnik. Let me know which scenes were your favorite down below. Finding these shots was not easy and required a lot of research, and one of my main source of guidance was this article written on Hello Jetlag. This article is extremely detailed and explains very well how to get from one location to the next, as well as the cinematic context behind each shot. I will link the article in the description below. Check it out if you wish to do your own DIY Game of Thrones tour in Dubrovnik. On that note, I hope this video was entertaining and helps you with your Dubrovnik adventures. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more travel-related epicness.